governments, the world governments and the Illuminati are still fighting it, and they're basically saying, okay, well, if they're coming, they're going to do this. So we have to get everybody afraid, tell them that we're going to be invaded by ETs. And this is why they're doing it right now.
Now, yeah, they're definitely making ETs look like the bad guys here, because every movie that you watch, it seems like the aliens are some kind of insect-looking thing, and they're going to eat everybody, or they're robots, you know. And I've never thought that, because I think if they wanted to wipe us out, they could have done it by now, without a doubt. So you say this will happen next year. So, you know, some speculate whether we're going to make it that long.
Yeah. Well, you know, you see, the thing is, what we have to understand with the Illuminati and these guys, the governments they're headed by the Illuminati. It's all the leaders of the world are the old boys club. That's why you see, like, the videos that come out showing the Bushes and all the other people using the secret handshakes and all this kind of stuff. They do the split finger salute with their hands, you know, out to the crowd. And the guy that did this, Jose Escamilla, he does beautiful documentaries on this. He went back and compiled all this throughout history, and it's amazing, right back to and including Hitler using the split finger hand in the air, waving it at people. And it's the same as the Bushes use. They all use the thumb up and the little finger at the end and closed hand. And it's amazing who's used this. And this has been forever. Like, you know, we talked about it on the show last night, Michael, and I'm trying to get people, some people are coming into this now and they're saying, oh, Illuminati, Greys, hybrids. It's confusing. Well, the thing is that we go back in history to when the Greys were here at the beginning and were interfering. They started crossbreeding with humans and getting the gray-human hybrid. And the whole idea was to get a loyal force of the Greys that looked like humans that could infiltrate, get into power positions, and basically manipulate the population and control them. They've done this over centuries, and this is why the blue blood, I mean, has anybody ever wondered how the kings and the queens of all the old time always kept their reign, always passed it on, nobody argued, and they kept control over centuries, even from the Egyptian times. Look at Akhenaten. He had the weirdest head you could ever imagine in life. He was early hybrid. He was ET, but the thing is that they have kept that control through all these centuries, and basically that they were the ones who were basically related to the Greys. They were half human, half Grey. So this is what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with other human beings as we are full. Yeah, here we go. Full human beings like we are. We're talking about human and ET cross. So their loyalties are way different. Their loyalty is to the elite because they are the tempered and preferred people here.
Now, you did mention earlier that the ETs are actually what's holding all this together. So would that indicate that there are some good ETs who want the best for us, and then there's these bad ETs who are trying to work their way into the systems and abducting people and doing experiments and making hybrids?
Okay, well, those are basically your Greys and reptilians, the bad ones. And there are good here and there are bad here. Now, the good here because the seven nations that are working on our behalf, that are trying to get this whole hierarchy out of here, they have the responsibility over this part of the universe. So nobody can really stop them from coming into what they're doing. Like, there's no way that the USA doesn't know that a ship that's 3 football fields in size, no matter how good its cloaking may be, going over at 15 or 17,000 feet is not noticed. Nothing is noticed here. So they are working here with the permission, not permission, but the cooperation of basically, if they don't hold the plan together, there's going to be nothing here anyway. So they are in here at that point. Sorry. Diplomatically, they're still, hands are tied in a lot of ways. They still have to go the diplomatic route. And don't forget I call them ETs and aliens. The aliens are the Greys, they're the bad guys, the reptilians. The ETs are the higher dimensional beings. They've also told me in channeling that our God is their God, our Creator is their Creator. So they're also connected to the same home base that we are in the same Creator. I don't want to get too far into it because it's like an octopus. It takes you all around 4 times. But the the aliens that are here, the Greys and that, if we go back to where the church has lied to us for a long time, and like they've told us half truths, okay? It's not a full lie, but it's just not the real truth. So like when they say that God has many mansions, what they know is that God has many worlds, many planets. So and then they talk about the battle of God with the angels and Satan cast out. Now, that's what we've been programmed: hell, angels, horny devils. Well, not horny, but horned devils. And slip on that one. Everybody, I hope somebody had a laugh out of that because we need it. But if we take the angel and the devil aspect and switch it around and give them different names, like extraterrestrial, ETs. So anybody who's not on this earth, including God and all of us, are ETs. We came here by energy into these bodies. So we're all ETs. We're all extraterrestrial. Now, the thing is that this galaxy, this part of the galaxy and on this planet, this is where Satan, who was an angel, who was an ET, was the ultimate creator was an ET, obviously, and he challenged God. Just like in the Bible, he challenged God. Well, the ETs that were with God kicked this guy's butt out and cast him out to this galaxy. So a part of our learning, a part of our anchoring and our show of loyalty and our ability to stay true and loyal to God is put us down in the midst of everything that's not. So, you know, he takes our souls and puts them in bodies here to work alongside these ETs down here and go under the control and try and still stay anchored in God during the process. So we're actually, in a lot of ways, we're proving our loyalty here to God, and we're also at the same time learning the skill of how to go back to our source and not to be taken that way.
Mm-hmm. And it would seem to me that the aliens, while they believe that we have the same God, they don't seem to put much stock into heaven and hell because they do bad things, and it would seem that they're not, much like our governments, aren't worried about answering to anybody after they leave their physical body.
Yeah. But you also have to still remember that, and don't mean every person that's working in the government. I'm saying that there are key. Sure. There's also the government. There's the shadow government. Okay, there's the government like that's Obama or these guys, and it's run by the shadow government. We always used to think in our ignorance. I hate to use it, but ignorance and lack of understanding of things. We used to say, well, the shadow government's the CIA, Secret Service, the FBI, all these guys working together. In reality, those are the agencies that keep the government in line and actually run the government on subsurface on behalf of the Illuminati, which is the wealth of the planet.
Mm-hmm. So, and we talk about that a lot here with the Illuminati, the shadow governments, and our base listeners, certainly they're on board and they know, but then you've got many who just listen because they think it's just fun, and this isn't fun, this is real. This is the real deal. Now, I wonder about Comet Elenin. Does this have anything to do with these aliens? Some, even Richard C. Hoagland, have speculated that this thing is under some kind of control. What do you know about it?
Okay, Elenin, myself, what I know, I'm not getting overly worried about Elenin, and the reason why is because it was never in Jesus' vision as one of the catastrophes that we were going to be facing, and he covered a lot. Also, the trouble is what we're dealing with here is a lot of people that are throwing out speculation on stuff we don't know, because everybody's grasping for something that might resonate. What I do know about Elenin is what I've gathered myself, because I'm looking too, because I wasn't shown it. What I have noticed that I can share is that if you go to NASA, which is a scary place to be these days for any reason, but if you go there and look at the Elenin schematic that shows the trajectory of it coming in, then it's on this natural curve, and as soon as it passes Earth and goes towards Venus, then it starts to chunk, and it veers off to the left and continues. Now, I don't know if it's going to veer off and keep continuing. If it hits anywhere, it may hit Venus to me, but it's going to be close enough that NASA say. Now, everybody else has said it was 15, going to be 12 or 15 million miles away. That's not a lot of distance when you have something that's really clipping through space. So when it goes through here, it's supposed to be veering off to the left, Michael, because NASA says our gravitational pull is going to affect it. It's going to pull it. And then when it frees past us, it'll kind of bling back out into its speed up again, and it'll veer off to the left. Now, all I'm doing is going back to the old physics, is that for every action, there's an equal reaction. So now we have to consider the size of Ellen and the probable size of Ellen and the known size of Earth. So it's not going to equal us, I don't believe, in size. And I do believe that it is a comet, not a meteorite, that it is made up of ice and that sort of thing and junk. And so it's going to be on the lower end of the scale, but I'm really concerned that it's going to trigger the things that we're all worrying about, such as the fragility of all of our Ring of Fire right now. To flip off real quick, I mean, what's happening with the Ring of Fire right now, folks, is very simple. It's just that we have the ozone, whoever did it, whatever did it, melted the solid ice caps, which are stabilizers on the spinning ball. Now we don't have a heavy top and bottom. Now we have all of that displaced weight in liquid water all over the surface of the Earth. Now if you put a tennis ball on a string and spin it, and then have somebody stand there, squirt it with a spray ball of water, and keep saturating it with more and more water, you're going to find that that ball is now going to start to wobble as it spins, because the extra water and the spin is actually slowing it down a little bit and creating a different angle. Now, because of this displaced water, and we don't have the top and bottom ice caps for the weight centers, now we've tilted off. So the true magnetic north is not over Greenland, now it's over Siberia. So we've tilted. The Eskimos in the north have put out and recorded on YouTube saying that it's changed up there. The sun comes up 5 hours earlier and it goes down in a different place. These are people that don't know anything about science, but they know the Earth. So it is tilted. We are over and we're wobbling. Now this is creating all kinds of eccentric energy all over the world, on the surface, below the surface. What was it? I think late last fall, I might be wrong the time, but satellite spotted two giant whirlpools off the east coast of South America. Now, that's not unheard of, but they don't really expect them there. But the thing with these, they were spotted by satellite because each one, and they were going simultaneously, separate from each other, in the Atlantic Ocean. Each one was 400 kilometers across. That's
wow.
Big. And those were spotted by space. And so what this is being created from, obviously, is all of this displaced energy now is being tweaked all over the world. And now, because of this wobble, how we're spinning like this, this isn't some theoretical garble here. This is all stuff I've got through NASA and through other sources that are really, really good sources. I mean, this is verifiable stuff. So we do have a wobble, and because of that wobble, it's kind of like go back to school. The science teacher would take an orange and then he'd slice it all around like a baseball team, right? And then they'd unpeel it and show the Earth all laid out like they do on the map. Well, that's exactly. Then you put it back together, and all the seams match, but they don't close. Well, that's exactly what the crust of the Earth is like. We have the Ring of Fire, which is a flexible seam on the crust of the Earth. So now all of this wobble we're getting now is making all of those seams grate on each other. The Earth is flexing. So the crust that we're living on is actually moving all the time, but it's only showing on the seams because it hasn't gone extreme.